Okay, let's move on to graphing. Before we begin, I just want to talk briefly with the graphs here. As far as how to make them, if this is your sheet of paper, you want to draw this down. You have two options for your graphs. Number one, so basically break your graph into four. So this will be graph number one that you do right now. And you have room for more over here, like, you know what I mean? So there's graph one, there's graph two, there's graph three, there's graph four, just for saving paper. Option number two, is, here's your piece of paper, here's your first graph, here's your second graph. Okay, you don't need to take a graph to take up the whole piece of paper. Try and conserve space a little bit, save the environment. Yeah, so if you need to borrow a piece of graph paper from your neighbor, please do so right now. I'm going to get my graph paper up here right now. Okay, so let's start talking about the things that we need for this graph. Number one is we need to use a ruler for the straight line. So this is, we're going to draw our axes on here first. I'm going to draw mine sort of like this. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to label and I'll put arrows on all four corners. The arrows mean that the graph continues on forever and ever and ever. Okay, and these are graphing lines, so they will actually continue on for a long, long time. I'm going to put on the top y-axis and on the right-hand side x-axis. What that means is that your x values go left and right, your y values go up and down. Next, we are going to put some numbers on here. 0 comes in the middle, and I count all the way up as high as I can go. Now, I need to make sure over here, my biggest y value is 11, so I need to make sure that I can get up to 11 for my y's, and luckily enough I can. 13. I also get down as low as I can to -1 here, okay? So, luckily I can do that as well. Left and right, I have to get from -3 to +3, so I can count a little bit bigger. I'm going to use every second square as 1. Okay, so this graph is looking great. It's looking wonderful. Let's plot some points now. My first point is going to be -3 and -1. How I graph that is, I'm going to use blue. On the left-hand side, x value is -3, which is here. I'm going to go down to -1. So my x value is -3 left and right, and -1 up and down. So that one's done. Then I'm going to go 2 to the left, -2 is my x, and 1 is my y. So 2 to the left and 1 up and down. Then I'll go 1 to the left and 3 up. 0 to the left and 5 up. 1 to the right and 7 up. 2 to the right and 9 up. 3 to the right and 11 up. Okay, why am I happy with that graph? Well, it looks to me sort of like a straight line, okay, which is exactly what you want, okay? This is what we call a linear graph, so it should end up being graphed like a line. I'm actually going to graph this as a line. I'm going to tell you what else I mean. Line, I'm going to make it look something like just this one. Got here, sort of go, and it should sort of hit exactly through all the points. If your graph doesn't hit all the points, what it means is that you probably made a mistake somewhere with one of the coordinates, okay? There will be people. I'm just going to change the color here, don't mind me. There will be people. That should be fine. I'm trying to say there will be people who will have a graph that looks like this. Will submit this to me. If that is you, please check this point because it's wrong. Okay, so do not let that happen. And before you say, oh, that wouldn't be me, it happens every year to people, so please be careful of that. Okay, I need at least 3 more things to finish this graph. Thing number 1 I need is a title. A good suitable title for this is going to be graph of y equals 2x plus 5. That's enough for the graph. Last two things that I need here are I'm going to continue the graph on a little bit on either side, and then I'm just going to put arrows on the arrows show that the graph goes on forever. Okay, and then we're done. Okay, so that's all I got for today. What I'm going to recommend to you guys is, well, so the supply teacher, what I'm going to recommend is, if you can hand out the homework sheet right now, there are 2 graphs you can try on your own for tonight. If there are questions about this, let me know. We'll do this as a warm-up tomorrow and continue from there. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. One last thing before I go, if you do not have graph paper or a ruler or a calculator, please make sure you go tonight and get one, because I will be checking tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Bye.